Mic test 2 1 2.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Hello, my dear sweet friends of mine, and welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I do hope you're doing well, mate. As always, I really do hope that. And welcome back to another video to Chelsea news / match preview hybrid. Of course, we play those ruddy scasses tomorrow at the Bridge, and we're going to give them a guard of honour. Yeah. Actually, I'm okay with it. We can get into that a little bit later, and we can talk about the superstar lineup we should put out and hopefully grab what would be a humongous 3 points against the Premier League champions. But this is also a Chelsea news video. I want to speak about speculation about Cole Palmer with being open to a move to Manchester United. And everyone's talking about Jorrel Hato. I don't need to cite a specific journalist or publication here. Sky, Dutch media. Everyone's talking about the young Ajax left back / defender. Pour one out for Samuel Smith, who will be like, what? The academy left back. But we're going to get into all of it today. So, hey man, thanks for joining me. As always, thank you for supporting the content. Daily content here on Football Therapy, as also, of course, daily content on my sister channel, Football Yannick, which, of course, is over 16,000 subscribers now. We're getting a lot, actually. That channel covers, essentially, all non-Chelsea stuff. So there's a link in the top of the description to check out Football Yannick as well, if you think you'll dig my commentary on non-Chelsea stuff. Let's get into it. Alright, let's start off with silly season nonsense then. Here we go. Outstanding Chelsea player would be open to signing for Manchester United this summer. This is coming on from the boot room, from a chap called Charles Jones. So send your hate mail to him. Let's see what this knob is saying. Woohoo! Man United have a number of exciting transfer targets in mind this summer. Yeah, look, by the way, on the other channel, I've done a video about how one of Manchester United or Tottenham are going to win the Europa League, qualify for the Champions League, and win a respectable trophy. Those teams that genuinely one of them could finish 17th, one place of relegation, and they're going to be a Champions League team. Mental. That's the kind of content I'm talking about on the other channel, should you be interested in that. Interestingly, Manchester United are also keen on another one of the Premier League's biggest stars. This is because they're also interested in Cunha and Delap, right? And guess who that star is? It's Cole Palmer! It was reported last week that Manchester United are keen on Cole Palmer. Now, speaking to the Sky Sports Back Pages podcast, Miguel Delaney has been discussing Palmer's situation, and he's been making an interesting claim about Manchester United. Okay, I'm going to put a pin in this for 30 seconds, right? A lot of people have been talking about the Chelsea situation lately. One of them is Jamie Carragher. Now, Jamie Carragher keeps talking about Cole Palmer's got to get out of Chelsea. He's got to get out of Chelsea. He's been trying to sell Palmer ever since the summer, basically, and saying, look, well, Cole Palmer's going to want to leave. Of course he's going to want to leave. Yada, yada, yada. Not even for a second speculating that Palmer might be grateful to Chelsea for giving him this platform. Palmer might be happy he got a pay rise in the summer from Chelsea. Palmer might be happy he's being so well, marketed and looked after at Chelsea, and, has got a good relationship with Jackson. And even this season, his numbers are good. He just thinks, he's had one season, he needs to get the ruddy heck out of there. And also, just forgive me, let me do this for 1 second. Carragher has, I've said this on my social media, published an article on The Telegraph saying he's lucky, the aforementioned Tottenham and United are underachieving so badly because they've taken the heat of Chelsea's underachievement. You can have your own opinion about whether Chelsea are achieving, overachieving or underachieving. I'm sort of somewhere, if we finish 5th, I think it's a good season because of what we've learned about these young, players and often dysfunctional. That's my opinion. But what is absolute BS is Jamie Carragher in his pre-season predictions on Sky Sports didn't even have Chelsea challenging for the top 8. He looked at this team and said they won't even challenge for European, which will be 8th. They won't get anywhere near top 8. That was his prediction. And then, of course, there was that famous clip of going, this isn't a young and exciting team. So where's he gone from, this isn't a young and exciting team, they won't challenge for the top 8, to then publishing an article at the beginning of May where Chelsea sit in a Champions League place saying they've underachieved? Just an absolute knobber. I liked Jamie Carragher for a while before the spitting controversy and some of this stuff, because he always used to basically say, yeah, Eden Hazard's the best player in the Premier League. And I aligned myself with him on that. But come on, the biggest flip-flopper ever. Sorry, this is football therapy for me as well. I needed to get that off my chest. So let's go back to this nonsense. Right, he's been discussing about that. He says, look, a move to Manchester United is unlikely this summer. Mate, if Cole Palmer transfers to Man United this summer, which of course would probably be before the Club World Cup, when we try and get all our business done, it's unlike, yeah, Chelsea are very much planning on, parading Palmer around in the Club World Cup in America. Yeah, not like, let's just sell him to Man United, right? It does say Palmer would be open to a move to Man United. Delaney shared what he knows about Cole Palmer and Manchester United's interest in the Chelsea star. According to the journalist, United would seriously go for Palmer if there was a chance a move would happen, while Palmer himself would be open to a move. Okay, so let's talk about this. Cole Palmer is a Manchester United fan. He's a big Man United fan. The fact how he just ended up at the City Academy is like, just a sort of career progression thing. He's a massive United fan. He idolises Wayne Rooney. And I get the feeling that he loves Manchester. He just seems like a proper Manc boy. And perhaps he obviously moved out of Manchester for the first time to come down to London for Chelsea. I don't know how much he loves London, but I do speculate that there's a side to Palmer where he'd, just like to play for Man United. I'm kind of guessing a little bit. I think the reality is, he'll have people who are advising him that say there's a great amount of instability at Man United, both financial and sportingly, though I personally do like Ruben Amorim, and I think Cole Palmer would be amazing inside forward in his 3-4-2-1 formation. But the truth is, if Chelsea were to sell Cole Palmer, Man United don't have the money to pay for him. Maybe there is look, we're all, the majority of us, the vast majority of us here on the channel watching are all mainly Chelsea fans, I imagine 98%. And, the idea of selling Palmer to United repels, of course. But the truth is, he might like the idea of going to Man United. He's been to City. He won't return to City. Of course, there's a lot of, he can come back now as we can drop 120 million on him to Chelsea and he can replace De Bruyne. He's proven himself. Yada, yada, yada. Let's bring him home. I don't see that happening personally. I know, of course, a little while ago, myself and many others got rather nervous because he's learning Spanish, which always gives me the twitchy fear. I don't know. If Man United become good again, there might be an instance where he thinks, I could live out my childhood dream. He seems like this sort of, I don't want to say simple in the negative way, but the kind of kid that just sees him, that's more, I could just maybe seeing him want that, not saying it's gonna happen, and it would be a mental move for him right now, of course. Let's move on and just absolutely flush that away. All right then. Jorrel Hato, yeah, he is a player, that we're being linked with everywhere. So he's a Netherlands international now. Despite he's already made 6 appearances for the first team, despite being a young man. He's still only 19 years old. The Ajax left back / left centre back. So I can understand how that sort of positional versatility is appealing to Enzo Maresca. He's left-footed, of course, and he is he's 19. He's young, and he wouldn't necessarily cost that much money. I'm just going to quickly look at his FB Ref scouting report strengths here for references for the young man. He's very good at passing. His pass completion's incredible. Total football, Ajax, Cruyffian, yada, yada, yada. There's no one better than him in terms of left back or left side defender. Again, pass completion and pass completion long, medium and long. So he is an ultimate passing defender. This young 19-year-old. His goal-creating actions from live balls are very strong as well. Through balls, these are all passes. He's very creative. He's very passy. His assists as well put him in the top 5%. Bearing in mind, for such a young man, this is very good. Again, context. He's doing this for Ajax in the Eredivisie, which is sort of PSG in Ligue 1 settings. Or it has been historically. I know they've fallen off a little bit of late, but they've been better. Or more recently. Look, these are good stats. He's a young player. The fact how he's a teenager and he's already made 6 appearances for the Netherlands first team is actually pretty big because they've got a lot of talent. I think people are talking on social media like it's him or like Housen or Gerhi, which I don't really understand because it looks like his predominant position. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm just a fan like you, but it looks like his his preferred position is left back over centre back, and of course Mark Gerhi and Dean Housen's are centre backs. But if this guy's cheap, Cucurella, he could be if it's literally a good option to rotate for Cucurella. Surely that's really sensible business? ? Defer to you, the fans and the viewers and the subscribers of this channel. Would this be a sensible move? Comment down below and let's move on. So we are playing the big one. First of all, we welcome Liverpool to Stamford Bridge. I actually quite like. Well, I don't like. There's a part of me that understands the guard of honour. And look, we're not giving Tottenham a guard of honour or Arsenal. Of course, Liverpool are like. Chelsea fans don't like Liverpool, but the truth is, we are, again, I know it's so boring to say, but we're the youngest team in the league, and they're like the 3rd oldest, and they've won it all before. There is an element of mark of respect. I heard on the Athletic Chelsea podcast straight out of Cobham, Matt Davis-Adams, I think it was him, that was referencing a Jason Cundy story when they did it. When Chelsea won and Man United had to give them a guard of honour, it was sort of Alex Ferguson saying, was it them or was it? Yeah, anyway, I can't remember why I heard it, but Alex Ferguson sort of said to United players, yep, give Chelsea a guard of honour, take your medicine, they were better than you. You don't want to do this again? Go win the Ruddy League. I think there's a bit of that. I think these young Chelsea players can learn, just put your ego down for a little bit, mate. Clap the big boys. They've won it. This is what you want to be. Again, take your medicine. In the same way, well, not in the same, in different ways, but I think there'll be certain important developmental experiences for these young players. Giving Liverpool a guard of honour, showing respect and being humility, winning the Europa Conference League. I know people laugh about it all the time, but I think just lifting a trophy as a team would do wonders for these kids in terms of an experience to push on from. People will be like, oh, I don't want to be in the conference. Why? I'd rather not play in it, yada, yada. No, I love it. I like it. It's the last trophy. We haven't won. We complete the set. It's a good trophy for a bunch of infants that are trying to find themselves in the game. Do it once, win it, really positive experience, move on with your life. Yeah? So, the Liverpool versus Chelsea game. Now, Arne Slot did his pre-match press conference. He did a lot of positive speak about Chelsea. He's been waxing lyrical quite a lot about Chelsea, Arne Slot. He said, the only game that we won this season that we didn't deserve to win is against Chelsea. Chelsea were better than us, and he sort of also said, I'm surprised to look at their points. I think they're a really good team, how they play. He was kind of, saying the quality of players, but he's also talking about how they play, the manager. I know a lot of fans, Chelsea fans out there, aren't sold on Maresca, and a lot of them are just done with him, and that's fair enough. It's a game of opinions. I'm not completely enamoured with him. I've certainly gone off the boil with him a little bit, but I'm by no means Maresca out, and of course we could still have a strong season. I'm not going to analyse Liverpool because it did sound like he's going to do a bit of rotation on a slot for the first. They've won the league. The season's kind of over for them. Of course, they want to get as many points as possible. But I think, genuinely, this is almost like pre-season now. He's going to start looking at different combinations and how they're going to play next season. And while they're still fit in momentum from this season. At least from watching his press conference, that's what it sounded like. He's not going to just put out the normal 11, which gives us an opportunity to win the frigging game, bro. Not draw, not get embarrassed, to win it. Of course, they've only lost twice this season, but are they hungover? Has he rotated heavily? Are they tapped out for the season now? Well, we'll find out. They might just slap us, but who knows? Now, in terms of how we're going to play, let's build the lineup. So Sanchez will start and go if he's fit. There was some talk that he might not be fit. Now, this is where, okay, so Cucurella, Colwell, Levi Colwell, and Chalobah. There's my boy. And you might be thinking, oh, is Gusto back fit? I'm not sure he is. Reece James going to be used at right back again. He has for a little bit under Maresca. Guys, this is what I think is going to happen. Moises Caicedo. We're going to do that. We're doing this again. We're doing this again. So, Caicedo playing right back, inverting into the midfield to join Lavia and Fernandes in such a way that allows Fernandes to push on forward into the left pocket where he's been so good this season, getting loads of assists and some goals. Nico Jackson, the striker in form, 3 goals in his last 2 games, 2 of which were absolute belters of finishes. One was really good opportunism and actually industrious strong work to get the ball. Now, Palmer, we just need him to be fixed now. And I think I've completely gone mental. I've brought him back in on Foot Fantasy Premier League and I've captained him against Liverpool at home. The champions at home. An expensive player in FPL. I'm jujuing this, guys. Baldian was last season. Now it's reverse juju FPL. Palmer. And in terms of wingers, it's going to be Noni and Neto. But which way around will it be? Because I tell you what, it could be Sancho. Sancho has been playing well, but to be honest, like, he deserves props, Sancho, but it's going to be Noni and Neto. And I think genuinely, it's going to be Noni out of position because I think he played really, really well out of position last time he played on the left. And of course, they can swap. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolutely quality team. This team in the future, people will say, well, we need a new left-sided winger. We're going to buy that, fine. We're going to buy a new centre-back to raise the floor. The centre-back's fine. Georgi Petrovic in goal. And a new striker to, like, probably make Jackson deputy. And suddenly we've got a great team. Yeah. So that's the team I think we're going to play. What's going to happen, though? Ooh la! I don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet. Because it's Liverpool. And even if they rotate, you know, you're going to have your Salahs off the benches and all this, that, and the other. I'm going to say a 2-1 win. I'm going to go mental and say a 2-1 win. Because why not? This is content creation. We can have a little bit of fun. Let me know your thoughts. Please do comment down below. As always, thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Yeah, man. Remember, there's Goat Gang merch. Should you want it? If you want the Football Therapy merch. And also, guys, yeah, daily content on Football Yannick. The link is in the top of the description for that channel. Or you can just search on YouTube Football Yannick. It will pop up very, very easily. Thanks for showing your love. I send it back. And I'm not sending your love back like a return. I'm sending my own love to you. Yeah? What a lovely way to end the video. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the football. Peace.